All set? All the members of the committee are present. Secretary will check out that list. We have the February 22nd minutes in front of us. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes?
Looks like what we talked about.
Just one small thing on the minutes under treasurer's report. Second line there, it says First National Bank account balances as of January 31st, 2023 included the preferred interest checking balance of, it says, I think it means a 45,000 once, but looks like there's a
Yes.
digit missing or
Good catch.
Yeah.
So
just that one thing.
9. Okay, I'll fix that. And then, thanks, Nick.
Yeah, no problem.
Decimals in the wrong place.
I missed a number, yeah.
Just a number, that's all.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right.
Better to have it just missing on a piece of paper rather than in the bank.
Absolutely. Okay.
Okay. Is there any additions or corrections to the minutes? I have a motion to accept the minutes.
I'll make the motion to do that.
I'll second.
Any discussion? We'll vote on it. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Minutes are carried.
Sandra, I just wanted to ask, I don't know if this was the right time, did you and Chris, in terms of the item about the collection of the annual fees, did you and Chris make some progress on that? And I think Chris is on too, so. I was just
Yeah.
curious.
Here's correct me if I'm wrong, Sandra. Here's where I think we are. We've been trying to figure out who at Family House to contact because they've had a lot of turnover there. I finally just in the last like 24 or 36 hours got another name to try, and I emailed this person and I got a return receipt, so she's read my email, but I haven't heard back.
Okay.
So, I think we're going to get that collected. LaRoche, I don't know where we left LaRoche last time, but the LaRoche fee that was pending is really not pending because it related to their 2019 financing, which has now been repaid.
Yeah.
Because we did the new 22 financing, so they don't have a fee due until sometime later this year. But I'm going to make sure I know who the contact person is sooner rather than later because they've had turnover there too.
Yep.
The person who was like the CFO in charge is no longer there. I know that for a fact. So we're going to find the contact person, just make sure they're aware of their obligation ahead of time.
Got it. Okay, great.
How much is outstanding? Do you know, Chris?
I think the Family House fee is $18.50.
How many?
1850?
I think that's all they were just 1 year. Are they in arrears for more than a year?
No, they're not.
The annual fee is $1,850 for Family House
Yeah.
because that deal was done prior to the fee increase that we adopted last year. LaRoche, when they have to pay it, I think will be $3,000.
Anything else you have to report to us?
I don't have anything. I'm looking for transactions. It's a little slow right now.
Okay.
The Fed keeps raising interest rates. That makes a lot of deals not financially possible for borrowers, but I think I'm optimistic that will change in the second half of this year. So we'll find a transaction, at least one transaction to do. So. That's all I have.
So we have about $98,000 or something in that neighborhood.
Correct, yeah. Do you want me to go over the treasure, you want me to do the treasure report now?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Read the treasurer's report.
Well, we don't have any public, so yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just
Take
gonna,
just one each
No.
there. Here's one for you.
Oh, that's
Want to send that one kind of on down? We go here,
thank you.
and I know that these guys can't see what we're actually looking at because I
Yeah.
didn't get it to you in advance and
That's
so
all
on. But just a real quick, obviously, we had done a reconcilement in our meeting just a couple of months ago, so I just updated it here real quickly, and Jerry was just kind of commenting on the dollar amounts. So real quickly, we have $45,217 in kind of the general checking account. There's one deposit that was made in April. Sandra, I was imagining this was a collection that obviously was from one of the clients that we have, that was the $4,050
Yes,
that you did in April. I didn't know who that was, but I listed that here as well.
yeah, I don't remember who that was.
Okay.
I
I was
should
wondering,
go back and grab it.
yeah,
I can
you
go
can
back
if
and
you
grab
will. It's not reflected in the balance on here because I just had the statement through the end of March, and Sandra did a $4,050 deposit in April. So again, the checking account balance is $45,217. Everything ties to the statement. Then there's a money market account, which MIDA has had for years and years. That has a balance of $45,343. And then there's a certificate of deposit for $53,087. So to Jerry's point, there's about $98,000 in kind of reserves, and then $45,000 in the checking account.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Just so everybody's aware, Brian O'Malley just called in, so he's in the meeting as well.
Hello,
If you have any
Brian.
questions or anything,
Okay,
Were you checking on that CD to see if you could get better interest on it?
I
Yeah.
already did.
You
We
did-
renewed it at a better rate.
Correct.
I think we discussed.
Yeah, and I wish I had written down what rate it was, but I didn't write it down.
I
know
wish
that
I
you
had my
got-
desk with me,
Yeah,
just like
exactly.
right here.
But yeah,
so
when
I
it
can-
came up, I know Sandra called the bank,
Mhm.
verified it, and got what I think was a 1-year renewal at a real competitive rate at that point in time. She's
They
tough.
have
You
two
want
things.
her to handle you for your mortgage next time.
They have two types of CDs. They have one that you can take money out of, but it's got a lower interest rate.
Okay, all right. And this is one in which if you took it out early before the 1-year anniversary, there would be a penalty.
Penalty,
And so,
right.
fortunately, I
About
think,
4% or something.
right, okay. Fortunately, the dollar amount in the money market account, we're going to talk about that next, is sufficient to cover what we would have, but that we're getting ahead of ourselves there. But
Okay,
that was all I really had. I just wanted to bring everybody up to date on it. Sandra has what we just talked about, so maybe for the folks that aren't here, you could send or do something like that.
Sure, I'll send this to everybody. I'll scan it and send it after the meeting.
anyone have any questions from the treasurer? If not, we'll accept this report as read.
Okay.
Bills and communications, do we have any bills, Sandy?
No, we're all caught up on fees collected for 2023 at this point, according to our timeline of when they're due. Just still waiting on the one from,
Family house.
yeah. Family
You
house.
having trouble finding people?
It can be difficult, but I mean, a lot of people don't know, if there's a turnover, they're like, what are you even talking about?
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, it can be tough, but we're good. We're good for this year so far.
Oh, we don't owe you any money, do we?
Right,
Exactly.
right.
I've heard that before.
Well, I'm new here. I didn't know about
Yeah,
that.
that's it.
Okay. Old business. The item we're here is the Heritage and Cultural Center proposal. We have that in front of us in our package. That's primarily what we're going to talk about. If there's anything The only thing was they want us to pay how much, Joe?
Well, they've revised it. Originally, they wanted half of the money up front. They're asking for 1/4, which is 89 cents and $8,183.75.
They're asking for that.
What was the, when we had our meeting, not the last one, number 4, we said not to exceed a certain amount of money. Do you remember what that was? Yeah.
Don't, it's in the meeting
Do-
minutes. Do
do
you
you-
remember what it was?
Is it our very last meeting? 'Cause
No,
I
it was,
Yeah,
it was a
two
meeting
meetings
before
ago.
that.
Prior meeting.
The first presentation. Probably in the 40s.
The other ones, it was 42,000 and change.
Yeah.
The only reason I asked that is I'm all for the sign. Yeah, I know you are. I'm just, the only thing I was reading in here is, this quote is here, but then it says, plus permits and engineering fees if required. They aren't required. They're not required. You're sure they're not required? We've gone through the process with Brian, with RJ. And those are the permits that we needed. I just want to make sure that we weren't going to understand hit with some other money. This includes soup to nuts. It actually is going to give us more, we're gonna have 2 additional electrical runs that are gonna be coming to the sign so we can later raise money and put lighting in the parking lot. There's no lighting in the parking lot right now. It's unsafe and, it's particularly during the winter. So we're asking, we've asked the sign company to include running 2 additional electrical runs that will be buried in a box right beside the signage. So we can come off of there and run lighting for the parking lot eventually.
Brian, do we have any plant lights,
Pardon?
Brian?
What was that question,
Do
Kathy?
we own any plant lights,
I don't know what you mean by that.
like on the highway where it's run by a generator, they're lights, they're portable?
We have one set of those, I believe, that the police and DPW share that we use for community day for that parking lot.
Yeah, I was just wondering that whenever they have something at the Heritage Center, if they couldn't negotiate with you guys to bring the plant light over for them so that people aren't in the dark.
Yeah, it's
Thank you.
definitely a possibility, especially in let me find out more about how and when that we use it, because I don't know the details of it, but we can talk about that.
And the other thing I think that we need to keep in mind that there's 3 months during the year that it's too dark after, 5 o'clock. During daylight savings time, generally it stays light until roughly 8 o'clock. And most of our programs are done by then. It's only during the late fall and early winter months that we really have an issue. Well, it would. And we're also gonna have issues like during the drive-in movies.
But I'm just saying that if we own these, you could probably talk with Public Works and see if they can't bring it over on those days when you have something there during the evening where it's dark, just for safety purposes.
And your point there is even before you kind of configured anything else with more permanent lighting and so
Right.
on, we should at least step in and
Absolutely.
try to make it as good as possible, which is a great
Absolutely.
suggestion. So what's the, I could understand a few reasons not to want to do this, but what would be the 1 or 2 reasons that you would have about not wanting to do it? I thought you had said, yeah,
Not wanting to do what?
to put the sign up.
Oh, no, I'm all for this.
Oh, okay, all right. I
I
thought
was
you
for
had
the
said,
sign.
I thought you had said that you were against the sign.
No,
That's why I
no,
was, yeah.
No,
okay.
I've been for the sign.
I believe that Dr. Rappo, and it was a great suggestion. Eventually, we want to have lighting on the parking lot. We don't have it now. So her suggestion of working with Public Works and bringing a temporary lighting in when we do have events is fantastic.
A while ago, we got portable generators from the military surplus,
And yeah,
and they will do that long.
but I'm
If
just
they're
saying,
still around.
if you had, well, right now they've kind of auctioned those off and a lot of municipalities have been buying.
Pardon?
A lot of municipalities have been buying
Have been
them off at
buying
the
those,
auction.
huh?
Yeah. Only reason I say that is when I'm a school person, I'm a safety person. I did it when I was up north, when we had our evening football games.
Uh-huh.
As part of an event, we would lose power. We
Yeah.
always had a plant light there on each end in
That's a
case we had
backup.
to evacuate with no lights. We had lights
Mm-hmm.
in the parking lot. So, it's something we worked out with Public Works. So I think it would behoove us to do that. So,
I'll actually be meeting with Public Works tomorrow morning, so on different matters. So I'll bring that up to Jeff.
Find out if Jeff has his military ones
We'll do
still,
that.
because we got them. They have them from place to place. In fact, the fire hall generator came from there, the one not there now.
And the other thing that I will suggest to everybody here is the Heritage and Cultural Center has developed some really good relationships, as you all know, with Amazon Prime and with Mac Discount. So on our wish list is a generator, because we need it in different areas for different things.
Mhm. I take it council is supportive of this as well, otherwise we would be sitting here talking about it,
very,
right?
very supportive.
Yeah, that was a condition of our last vote, is go through council and get on board, and that's happened.
The only thing was, wanted to make sure we had the 3 bids. That was the big
Yeah,
thing.
which seems reasonable,
And
right?
actually,
The only thing that happened was they come in and ask for money up front.
and it turns out that we didn't need the 3 bids because we were going through Sourcewell pricing. That's why it came down from 42 to 35.
I understand that, Joe, but what we had said is we wanted to see. 3
Yeah,
bids.
I understand. But I'm just saying that as it turned out, we went through a purchasing for, a purchasing cooperative that
Yep.
municipalities utilize.
Yep.
And we got the price down even further.
And would that imply then that this company, Smart Sign, is somebody that has been used by others?
Yes.
And therefore, as a vendor, we feel confident, or the township feels confident that this would be, this is the kind of vendor that you would want to do something like this. It's
I
not,
can't speak for the township, but I can speak for the people that we went out and actually talked to.
Yep.
We talked to people in Beaver County, we talked to people in Allegheny County. Even some of our own residents have used this company.
have used it.
Smart Signs is at Chuck's Auto Body, for
Mhm.
instance. And Chuck's on our committee.
Good.
But we've gotten recommendations from no less than 10.
Good, perfect.
And council was going on your recommendation,
Yeah.
on this committee's recommendation.
Yeah. I mean, it seems appropriate. Doesn't seem, it's not like it's too like obtrusive along that road, right? I mean, and to the extent that more and more is going to be done with both the museum and that space, it all seems like a reasonable, good idea. And this is a good execution of the idea. It fits, I think. I don't know if
The
everybody else
other
feels the
thing
same
you
way.
need to remember, it's not just a sign for the Heritage and
Right.
Cultural Center. It can be utilized for other things within the municipality.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Then we have a motion to approve the project.
I would make the motion to approve.
In the amount of, we want to put it, not to exceed 36,000, to round it up.
I think that probably makes sense, right? Yeah.
That's good, since we don't have to worry about the permits. and
Yeah.
engineering.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little bit afloat, but it
Make
makes.
sure final price there 39.
35,935.
Is what that,
So 36 would be good.
yeah. That's actually 36. That sounds good. I mean, that's a good reasonable way to do it. Yep.
If you need extra money, Sandy has the authority to release it to you.
Well, what we had planned on doing is
I mean, the money up front.
to cutting a check for $8,983.75, which is 1/3,
Yep.
or I'm sorry,
1/4
1/4 of the overall price. And then progress payments that can be submitted as things are completed. And that will be done on an AIA form and submitted to Sandy.
Okay,
Okay,
Seems right.
everybody on board with that? So all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Second, if you needed a second.
Thank you.
Who did we didn't second?
No.
We did now.
We did.
It's all official now. And we need Chris to go round up some more business so we build up our balances again, huh?
I'm trying. It's been a tough year so far.
All those, and we did vote on this. All
We did.
those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Sam, when do you think I? can
So
get
you're
the check
ready to
for that?
go.
Whenever as soon as you submit something to me, I can get it for you within a couple days. I mean, they cut checks.
Wednesdays.
Brian, when are they cutting checks right now?
I mean,
It's like,
sometimes they're cut on Wednesdays and Thursdays, but we usually don't get them out until the end of the day, Friday or Monday.
okay,
I'll send you something tomorrow morning.
yeah, send me something tomorrow
Are
morning.
we going to then, is McCandless Township going to basically write the check and then we will reimburse them? Is that how, or is it gonna come directly out of?
It can come either way.
How did we do it for the library? I think we gave it to the library and then they paid.
And then they,
Yeah, but it's, I mean, how do you guys want to do it? You tell me how to,
Doesn't matter, but I'd pay it out of the MRDA account.
well, of course, yeah, I'm just,
what the order, Brian, do you care one way or the other?
I think, let me find out the best way when I talk to my finance team.
Okay.
But we'll figure it out.
You would be indifferent, it seems like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any other questions for me? Thank you so much. You have no idea what this does for the health and welfare of the Heritage and Cultural Center. And Dr. Rapa's help and some of the other board members, we've been able to do things that people didn't think that we could do. We are continuing down that path, and a big portion of what we're going to do includes the sign. Publicity is a big deal. Our next thing is moving on to trying to have a nonprofit organization that will be aligned not only with the town, but with the Heritage and Cultural Center. We're working feverishly on that.
Did he give you any indication when the starting date was?
I mean, the minute that we give him the money,
Okay.
he's gonna give us the
Sorry, the
starting
way that
date.
works
Jerry.
here.
That's the way it works. Tell us you're gonna pay us and we're gonna go to work.
Thank you all for your help.
Funny how that works that way.
We have any other new business to come before the board?
I'm working on it, Jerry.
You're working on it?
That's what he said.
Working on some new business, but not this month.
Okay.
Okay. Then we're ready for adjournment. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion.
A second.
All those in favor of adjourning indicate by saying aye.
Uh,
Opposed?
You like this kind of meeting?
I like these guys. I love coming. Jerry does a. I just
Thank you all.
Hey,
Thank
thanks,
you.
guys. Good seeing
Hey,
you.
hope to see everybody soon.
That's like when one of the substitute solicitors came because